Hello, everybody. Welcome to another tier list. Oh, yeah. And this one, as you can clearly see, is Library of Ruina themed. I think that this is going to be kind of a fun one to do, if I'm being entirely honest. I had this idea a couple days ago. I was like, because I've been wanting to do a tier list for this game for a while, since I finished my first series on it like a year ago, actually. But, I kept thinking about it and I was like, I don't know what I want to do it on because there's so many characters, there's so many, abnormalities, there's so many floors and receptions and suppressions, and it's like, I could do another one like I did the Lobotomy Corp, where it's, how much I liked and disliked and how useful the abnormalities were. And I was thinking about doing, a difficulty tier list for all the receptions, but then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, it's just not quite what I had in mind, right? And so the more that I thought about it, the more that I was like, well, I definitely want to do the characters, right? Because there's a lot of characters. Also, shout out to my Twitter, I guess, because that's what I signed into this with. But anyways, I was like, there's so many characters. I think it would be fun to do something with the characters. So what can I do? And I thought about it, and I was like, it would be fun to do a ranking of every character in the game and how much I would want to go spend a day downtown with them. And not necessarily just downtown. How much would I want to hang out with this person in real life, right? Like how much would I enjoy going and doing something with each of these people? And I thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. And I think it is. I actually went through and did a preliminary ranking, right? I have a little Word document next to me. I went ahead and ranked everybody, and I typed up my reasons why. And the reason I did that is because this took me 3 hours to get through, because there's 125 characters or something like that. And I didn't want this to be a 4-hour long video. And also because I just didn't remember everybody off the top of my head when I first went through, right? And so I went ahead and ranked them, in advance, but I am going to be talking through and giving my explanation as to why everybody is in the place that they are. You're probably not going to agree with me on a lot of these things. Reading back through my list, I feel like a lot of these are kind of hot topic, right? A lot of them could probably be construed as, as inaccurate, and that's entirely fine. That's what the point of a tier list is, right? So, obviously, if you feel like my rankings are wrong, please yell at me in the comments as to why they are. But, with that being said, I think it's time to just jump right into this. We have 125 characters to get through, and we're 3 minutes into this video, so we gotta get cracking, right? First things first, let's go over the lists, the tiers. So at the top, we have Never Want to Leave. So this ranking is reserved for people that I feel like I'd hang out with, and I would never want to go home afterwards, right? I mean, I'm sure everybody has a person like that. You go, you hang out with them, and it's like, God, I could just stay here. I could just hang out with you all day and never get tired of it. That's for characters like that, right? Knows how to have a good time. This ranking is for people that would probably be fun to hang out with, but not exorbitantly so. Not enough so that it's you hang out with them for a while and it's like, man, that was fun, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get out of here. It'd probably be a very memorable time. You'd probably want to do it again, but that's about it. Typical interaction. This one is reserved for people that are just basic, your standard, you go, you hang out, it's like, all right, that was fine, I'm ready to leave. You hang out with them, you do whatever it is you're gonna do, and then you just go home afterwards, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess if I go out with people that they are also hanging out with, I would, hang out with them again, but I'm not gonna go out of my way and seek an interaction with them. Would leave wishing you hadn't gone. That is actively not seeking to hang out with them again. This tier is for people who you go, you hang out with, and then afterwards you're like, Jesus Christ, this sucked, this was horrible. I wasted my day, or I wasted 3 hours, right? Yeah, this is the tier for people that you would actively not hang out with, and yeah, let me just say there's a lot of people that go in that tier. Biggest buzzkill of the 21st century. We all know that person. We all know that person. They go, and it's not that they ruin the time, it's just that you don't have fun because they're there, right? It's like they go and they just have an aura, like they have a presence about them that just makes it so that nothing that you do is fun, and it just kills everyone's mood. And I'd say it's worse than Wish You Hadn't Gone, because with this one, it's just like, oh, great, you know, so-and-so's here, okay, this is great. This one, it's like, oh my god, so-and-so's here, okay, how can I get out of this? How can I find an excuse to go home? They're just a buzzkill. I mean, plain and simple. They go, the time is not as fun as it would have been because they're polluting it with their negativity, right? It's not just negativity. We'll see some examples, but finally ends with you both serving 3 consecutive life sentences. This is a very important tier. This is a very necessary tier. There's a lot of people on this list that I feel like if you hung out with them for an extended period of time, you would both end up in jail afterwards. Yeah, there's not much more to say about that one. It's pretty straightforward. So, without further ado, I think it is time to get to ranking. I'm just gonna do this, uncut, all in one fell swoop. We're just gonna go through one at a time. I'm gonna give my explanation, and then, yeah, we'll see how everybody ends up stacking up on the tier list. And, like I said, if you have an opinion, you feel like my opinion is wrong, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I think it's time that we jump into it. All right, starting on the list, Angela. I think I know exactly where Angela is gonna go. I'm sorry to Angela. She's just kind of a stick in the mud. She's super bland and rigid for like 98% of the game. She's kind of just a bitch too sometimes. I mean, she has no sense of humor. She's logical. She's too serious. She's also masterminding an end of the world scenario. That's kind of a buzzkill. I feel like hanging out with her is probably not a fun time. And I think she would just be a buzzkill. I feel like she would go and everybody would not be having fun because they'd be too busy, getting talked down to by her the whole time. I feel like she fits this category very well. Roland. On the flip side, the complete opposite end of the spectrum, I feel like Roland would be super fun to hang out with. He's super chill. He's super relaxed. Even if most of the game it's a front because he has to pretend that he's a nice guy, even though he hates everyone, right? Even so, I feel like that's probably how he really is deep down, right? He'd probably be down for anything. Like you want to go bowling, he'd probably go bowling with you. You want to go to a coffee shop, he'd probably go to the coffee shop. He probably wouldn't complain about anything. He'd probably be depressed about his wife, but he probably wouldn't bring it up because he didn't want to be a downer the whole time. I don't think he would be a buzzkill about it the whole time, right? I feel like he would just be a super fun person to hang out with. Easy as that. Malcolm. I think it would just be a pretty typical interaction. She's kind of peppy. I think that would get really annoying. She seems like she would constantly be up in your business and trying to micromanage everything. She'd probably want to be in control of what you all are doing and who is going and how long you're there for. I just feel like it would kind of not be a great time, but it wouldn't be a bad time either, right? It would just be pretty standard, pretty typical. Yasad. Oof. Total buzzkill. He's a complete asshole. He constantly talks down to everybody. He feels like he's better than everyone around him. He just is not a great guy. I think he would be a total buzzkill. I feel like, much like Angela, he would go, and no one would have a good time because Yasad is there. Plain and simple. I think Hod knows how to have a good time, though. I feel like she would be a fun person to hang out with. She's super nice. She's also kind of quiet. That's okay, though. She would probably open up a little bit more around people that she likes. And she also has her own book club in the library, right? She, unlike the other librarians, is actually already doing fun things. I feel like that would carry over, you know? I feel like she would probably have a lot of fun things that she would want to take people out to do. I think she would be a fun person to hang out with. I think it would be a good time. I think Night Psych would also be a buzzkill. I promise, this whole list is not buzzkills. We gotta get through the primary ones, though. Okay, this is kind of a hot take. I know, Netzach in buzzkill seems like a little bit of a hot take, right? And here's my reasoning. One, he's a total bummer 24/7. Okay, he's super, super depressed about everything. And he also, and you know, you might be like, okay, well, but he drinks and he parties, right? You know, we've seen that a couple times. Okay, yes, but not in a fun way, right? It's more of like a self-loathing, make the pain go away kind of a way. I feel like he would not be a fun person to hang out with. You know, I think he would go out, I think he would just be a buzzkill. I think everyone else would be having a good time and he would not. You know, he'd probably have like a hidden flask on him and he would just get drunk. I just don't think it would be fun. I think it would just, I think he would just ruin the mood. Tifereth. I think this would not be a fun time either. She is also kind of a bitch. I think her and Yasad would get along great wherever they went because they both have very similar personalities. But I don't think that she's so commanding with her, you know, negativity that she would be a buzzkill. I think she should just not be a fun person to hang out with. And I also think she would complain the entire time, right? I think she would feel like she's too good for whatever you guys are doing. But I don't think enough so that she would be a buzzkill. I think she would just be not a fun person to hang out with. That I don't see it being a good time. I just don't. I think you would both go to jail. Do I even need to say anything about this one? She's hot-tempered. She's hot-headed. She's easy to get aggravated, and she becomes aggressive easily. She probably wouldn't want to do anything anyways. And I feel like at the end of the day, someone would end up dying. I think someone would get killed. I feel like you would both end up in prison afterwards. You would be incriminated because of your time together. Gabir is great, but this is not someone you would want to go hang out with. I think Chesed knows how to have a good time. He seems very chill. He also seems kind of aloof, you know, like he's kind of in an airhead a little bit, but not really. It's kind of hard to explain. He's just like, he's so meta. I also feel like he's the kind of guy that you would find singing the whole time, right? Like audibly I just feel like he's that kind of guy. I think at the end of the day, no matter what you did, I think he would have a memorable moment that he was involved in that would make the time better. You know, it's just the vibe I get from him. I feel like this is true. And a lot of my reasoning here is just a lot of, that's the vibe I get. I mean, obviously I have no proof one way or another aside from the conversations in the game and whatnot. That's just the vibe I get. That's just the vibe I get. Bina, you would wish you hadn't gone. She's very, like, judgmental. She's probably not interested in anything that you'd want to do. I also feel like she could probably snap and kill someone at some point, but I feel like she could probably hold it in a lot better than Kabira could, right? I think she's got a lot more of a level head. I just think that you wouldn't want to hang out with her because she's so mellow, but like too mellow. And also, like I said, she probably wouldn't want to do anything anyways. You know, you would all go and then she would just not. She would just sit and watch. And it's like, well, then why'd you even come? That's my hot take though. Although I feel like a lot of people probably agree with me on that one. Akma, typical interaction. He seems like a decent guy. He seems a little bit too serious for a lot of things, right? Like, he probably wouldn't want to do something like laser tag or bowling. But I think he would probably be okay. Like, he would probably do it anyways just because he wants to be nice. I also think he'd be a little bit of a downer because he probably wouldn't stop talking about how much Ayan would have liked whatever it was you guys were doing. And he probably would bring it up, like, constantly. He'd probably be talking about how much he thinks Ayan would have liked whatever activity you were currently involved with, right? But I don't think he would be a buzzkill about it. I think it would just be like a fond memory. So, Pete from the Rats. I think you would both go to jail. I feel like this guy smokes meth. I feel like he's a little bit of a risk taker. He'd probably do something immensely dumb for no reason, other than just because he wanted to, right? I feel like he would probably spend the whole time trying to find some kind of a hustle too. Like he would try and be hustling the whole time you're out, trying to make money in some way. I just think it wouldn't be. I think it wouldn't be fun. But I think that he would do something that would probably send you to jail. You know, I think that his hustle would turn into robbing someone or something along those lines. I don't think it would be worth anyone's time. Lenny? Typical interaction. I think Lenny, unlike her teammates, is kind of just making the most of a bad situation, right? I think she's just the victim of circumstance. I think she's just kind of there because she has to be. You know, those are the cards she was dealt. She seems very grounded and would probably enjoy the company of someone other than her crew, right? I don't know. This is just the vibe I'm getting. Meng-Chi, you probably wish he hadn't gone, I think. He seems kind of like a scaredy cat. He seems very pessimistic about things. Yeah, I just don't think it would be I don't think it would be a very fun time at the end of the day. Finn, typical interaction. He seems very genuine. He seems super nice. I think he also kind of has Malkuth syndrome though, where he's a little too peppy for his own good though. I think he's just, I think if you tone it back a little bit, you could probably move up a tier dog. But, that's just that's just the vibe I get. I also feel like he probably would just go along with anything that was happening, even if he didn't really want to, just because he doesn't want to be that guy who says no. I feel like that would probably not be great. He would probably, he gets some points docked for that. Yoon, buzzkill. He literally sent a kid to die. He's a total pessimist. He's kind of an asshole. He does what he feels like he needs to do, even if he doesn't need to do it, right? I just don't think he would be fun to hang out with. He seems like not a great guy. Eri, I think, is a little bit better, and you just would wish he hadn't gone. Total narcissist. We'll probably spend the whole time talking about how she was about to make it big, how she's like one step away from being the next big fixer. And I feel like that would just be all you listen to the whole time. It would just be about her. Everything is about me. I think that would be not great. Mo. Buzzkill. He's had all his joys of life removed. All he cares about is upgrading and maintaining his body and making money. It's not a person that you want to hang out with. It's not. He wouldn't even be able to do anything. What? You're gonna go out to get pizza? He's not gonna eat the pizza. He's gonna, he's gonna be caring about whether or not the grease is gonna shine his robot parts. I don't know. It just wouldn't be fun to hang out with him. I think Consta would be a little bit better of an interaction though. As long as you don't do anything that involves food. I feel like maybe you could have fun with him though, because he's not totally lost his humanity yet. he has the body, but he still wishes that he could do like regular human things. I think that he would be a little bit more fun to hang out with. I think it would just be like a normal interaction if you went out with him, as long as there wasn't food involved. Arnold, I think he just wished she hadn't gone. He's kind of paranoid. He hates the rich. He talks about how the maze, the library is just a maze run by the rich, so that they can watch people struggle. He gets a couple points for that. Hating the rich is a good plus. I just think he would wish he hadn't gone. He doesn't really add anything. He doesn't really take anything away. It just wouldn't be a very fun time. Tyin would wish you hadn't gone as well. He's also a narcissist. And he probably wouldn't be allowed into most buildings because of the giant spider legs coming out of his back. So a lot of your options would be, reserved to outside. And I just don't think he would enjoy many of them either. He would probably it just seems like he's just above everyone, He feels like he's better than everybody else. He probably wouldn't enjoy it. That's just how it is. McCullen also would wish he hadn't gone. He seems like he's a little bit crazy. He kind of likes to kill people. He talks a little bit about how, they would string people up and kill people in their old their old, you know, office. It just probably wouldn't be a good hang. I don't think you'd go to prison though. I think that you would go to prison with Naoki though, or Naoki. I don't actually know how to pronounce it. You know, they talk about how she goes on rampages and kills a lot of people. And she's a total nerd about her workshop equipment. I would probably want to spend the day practicing her gear, which would probably entail killing people. Okay, that's just I just tell it like it is. I think she would send you to jail. I think she would kill someone. I think you would go to prison. I think that would be the end of it. I think Walter, typical interaction. I think he thinks he's an intellectual, but really he is not. He kind of seems very stoic. He tries to keep himself in check. You know, he probably wouldn't want to do a lot of fun things because it would probably like hurt his appearance. You know, like he would probably not want to do something like a bowling because he'd be like, oh, I can't go bowling because then people are going to think I'm a loser or something like that, right? He'd probably be opposed to a lot of things. But I think that it wouldn't be the worst time, right? I think it would just be fine. Isadora, I also think is a typical interaction. She seems like at one point in her life, she was fun, but I think that corporate life killed that spark. She's also kind of a coward, and I just think that she would also probably just be fine to hang out with. Probably not, you know, nothing to brag about. You know, you wouldn't leave the day and be like, oh my god, I got to hang out with Isadora. Oh my god, that was so much fun. It would probably just be like, yeah, Isadora was there. It was fun. Pierre. Is there anything else I need to say about that one? Okay, moving on. Jack. I think he's just a buzzkill. I don't think he would go to jail like he would hanging out with Pierre. I think that while he is a cannibal, I feel like he would probably keep it secret a little bit better than Pierre. Also, the man's kind of a simp, right? I think he'd just not be a fun person to hang out with. I think the whole time you would just be like, God damn, I wish this guy would leave. Yeah, I just think he'd be a total buzzkill. I think the evening, the afternoon, the morning would just not be fun. I think it would just be ruined with his presence. Mars. You would wish he hadn't gone. He's a total mama's boy. He would definitely 100% stop every 5 minutes to call or text his mother about everything that was being done and how much fun it was, right? And that would be annoying. That would get annoying very fast. He also kind of like has all his emotions bottled up. I feel like he probably would not be very genuine. I feel like he would be very like fake. And if he was genuine, I feel like it would be because he's releasing all this pent up anger and emotion. And I think it would just not be a fun time. Okay, Lulu. You would probably wish you hadn't gone. I think she has a very explosive temper. I feel like she's the kind of person that would scream at other people you're with over small things just so everyone pays attention to her. I think that she's just like, I feel like she's very like hot-headed, but I feel like that's just because that she wants that to be a part of her personality, right? I feel like that's not really how she is. That's just how she makes herself. I think that it would be annoying to hang out with her because of this reason. San Buzzkill. He's a total baby. He would not be fun to do things with because he would be too anxious the whole time to really enjoy anything that was going on. He's also the kind of person that if a mugger were to come up and try and rob you, he would push you into them and run away. I just don't think he would be very fun to hang out with. I think if the time would be detracted, he would be a buzzkill the whole time. Would not be very fun. Callow, also a buzzkill. He's a complete asshole. Would be literally no fun the entire time you were out. He would try and rank the group into a hierarchy in such a way that he gets to be at the top, and he gets to tell everybody else what to do, right? I just don't think it would be very fun. I also think Catrielle is a buzzkill. I think that she also is too obsessed with this hierarchy, right? She literally had her tongue cut out. She requested it be cut out for breaking the hierarchy. And I think that she wouldn't hang out unless she got approval from her superiors, or they went as well, right? I think that she would just be a buzzkill. She would just, yeah, I mean, not much more to say about that. She would just be a buzzkill. Julia, Typical interaction. She seems sweet. Seems like she would be fun to hang out with, but not overly so. You know, not like in a big way. I think she would just be normal. She's very, very typical, very normal. Dino, which he hadn't gone. He would probably just talk about how cool his tattoos were the whole time. He'd probably want to go out and get more tattoos. He'd probably feel like the coolest and best person in the room of whatever place you were in. He would feel like he is the coolest person there. I just don't think it would be very fun. Gyeongmi, you would go to jail. He's too hot-headed, gets into fights a lot. He doesn't listen to anybody. And he would want to do whatever it was that he wanted to do without considering everyone else in the group or any of the other options. He would just, if it's not his way, then it's the highway, right? I feel it. I feel it emanating from him. Zulu, you would wish you hadn't gone. He is also kind of an asshole. I don't think he would be as bad as Dino is, but I think he still wouldn't be fun to be around. I think that he is also just kind of a douche, and you know, probably not very fun to hang out with. Okay, Olga, I think, knows how to have a good time. She is a drunkard, but kind of in a fun way, not in a Netzach way. She drinks for fun, I think. I feel like she probably also knows a ton of like hole-in-the-wall places that you could go and hang out. And it could probably lead you to like 100 buildings that you've never seen before. And you would have a great time. I feel it in my bones. I feel like hanging out with her would be a very fun time. Mika, I think you would wish you hadn't gone. I feel like she probably would nag the whole time, and she probably wouldn't want to do anything the whole time. I think it would just not be it would not be a good time. It would just be, you know, I think she would be there, and I think that she would complain, and I just don't think it would be very fun. I think Rain is a buzzkill, though. I think he is not the person to go hang out with. 100% he would not want to do anything. You know, I think he's like the parent friend of the friend group, except, you know, he would just complain about everything the whole time. Like, you know, every group has like that parent friend who feel like they have to keep everyone in rein, feel like they have to be the controlling force. I think I'm that person in a lot of my friend groups, right? But I think he takes that and he like takes it to the next level, right? Because then he just doesn't want anyone to have fun. It's not about keeping people in check. I think it's about not having fun. He would want everybody to just be like standing and reading books and walking around the street and just doing nothing. No noise can come from anybody. He would just be a total buzzkill. Okay, Mary. I think she would be a typical interaction. I think she seems very nice. I think she seems very supportive. I think she would be a little bit nervous to go out and hang out with people, but I think that she would have a lot of fun if she did. You know, I think she seems very, very sweet and very nice. I think she would be a fun person to, you know, kind of hang out with, but I think she would be a little bit timid. I think it would just be typical. Tommy, buzzkill. I don't even need to say anything about that. We all know it. We all know it. We all know it. It's just true. All right, Alpha. You would wish you hadn't gone. He would probably be like bragging about his fabric the whole time, right? You know, have you seen my newest leather boot, my human leather boots? Like, he would be talking about everything he was wearing and how he killed the people to make them. He probably wouldn't do anything illegal, so I don't think he would end up in jail. But I don't know if I can make a guarantee on that, right? I think he would probably maybe slip a little bit, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I think Beta, on the other hand, would go to prison. I think he's like the embodiment of like no thoughts, head empty. All he cares about is finding more silk, and I think he would kill people wherever you were to make some, right? I truly believe this in my soul. I think Gamma would just be a typical interaction. That's a little weird, I know, right? I think he seems the most sane of the bunch. I feel like if he went out, he would probably just kind of exist until the day was over, right? I think it would just be typical. He wouldn't really add anything. He wouldn't really detract anything. He'd just kind of be like a big shadow following you around. And I don't know. I just feel like he would probably be pretty all right, pretty okay, but not in a fun way. He would just be fine. He wouldn't go to jail. Okay. I think this is a typical interaction from Yen as well. He seems super mellow. I feel like he would probably have a lot of reservations towards whatever you were doing. I feel like he would probably start being overly existential, you know? He would be in the middle of like, you know, a chess game or something, right? And he would be like, you know, we're all pawns in the game of life. And then it would be like, why are you here? Also, he's a class A gaslighter. This man knows how to manipulate people beyond belief. You know, he should teach a class on it. Man is ascended in gaslightery. Sayo, prison. She's ruthless. She's very cunning. She's very smart. She probably thinks a fun day on the town is just paying 2 homeless people to fight to the death. I just don't think it would be. I don't think it would be a very good idea. She would probably like, you know, you would go out to hang out, and I think she would like take you to her managed part of the city, and then cut a couple hands off. And I think that would be how the day was spent. I don't think it would be very good. I do think that Yang knows how to have a good time, though. He seems very chill and very cool. And I feel like he also, like Olga, probably knows some cool places that you could go to. You know, a little like some of the underground, probably a little shady, but I think that they would be fun nonetheless. Probably like gambling, right? He would probably know a lot of underground gambling casinos. So, I think he would be fun to hang out with. I feel like Jin, on the other hand, you probably would wish you hadn't gone. He seems a lot more quiet and reserved than the rest of his group. But at the same time, I feel like if someone bumped into him, he'd probably like break their fingers, right? I feel like he wouldn't play around. He's not the kind of person that you want to go hang out with. And I just don't think he's one that you would want to go hang out with. Tamaki, buzzkill. She seems like a bitch. She would probably be rude to everyone the entire time. That's the vibe I get from her, right? I feel like she would just not be fun to hang out with. She just seems completely rude and kind of self-absorbed, and I just think it would not be a fun time. She would be a total buzzkill the whole time. Stefan, I think, is a typical interaction. He seems fairly normal. Seems a little bit scatterbrained. Not enough so that hanging out with him would be a chore, though. I think it would just be a normal, like, typical day, typical interaction, you know? Just very standard. Louis, I don't know how to pronounce his name. You would wish he hadn't gone, though. He'd probably be on his cell phone the entire time. He would probably only want to do, like, paintball or laser tag, but he would also bring his own, like, modded gun from home with, like, 100 modifications, like, thousands of dollars spent. He would, like, wipe everyone out instantly, and it would just not be fun. Right, it would just not be a fun time. Eileen, buzzkill. She is the equivalent of a Jesus freak, 100%. She would also probably stop and talk to every mechanical device within 100 yards to ask if they wanted to join her. She would be like, she would be like stripping copper wire out of houses, except she's looking for gears. This is just the vibe I get from her. I kind of feel it to be true. I think she would probably try and spread her beliefs onto everyone who went to. Yeah, this is just how I feel. I think I'm probably not too far off from the truth. Who is next? Argalia. This is a little bit of a tough one. I had a little bit of difficulty deciding where he goes. There's a lot of places I feel like he fits. And really, at the end of the day, I think he would probably be a fun person to hang out with. I don't know how to explain this one, right? The vibe I get from him says that he would be fun to hang out with. That's all I've got. He's a little bit crazy, right? The good ones always are. I just feel like he would be fun to hang out with, right? That's the vibe I get. I think Pluto, you would wish he hadn't gone. I like Pluto. I think he's one of my favorite characters in the game. He would not be fun to hang out with. He seems cool. Somehow, some way, he would do something that completely screwed you over. He would also probably make you sign a contract before you left your house, right? And then you would get to the end of the day, and then you would find out that, you actually signed a contract that if you use the word "the," he gets to cut your fingers off or something like that. I just don't think it would be very fun. Would not recommend it. Philip. Fuck you, Philip. Total bitch. Hate him. Literal buzzkill of the century. I think this category was made for Philip. He just sucks. He sucks. He's so horrible. Okay, Salvador, this one I think is gonna be a little bit of a hot take. I feel like he would probably be a very fun person to hang out with. I think he's like super nice old man. He seems like he would be super supportive of everyone around him. He would pay for everything while you're out. I just feel it, right? I feel like he's also probably friends with everyone in town. He knows everybody, right? I just feel like he's the kind of person you'd hang out with, and you'd be like, man, this guy is so nice. He's so cool. I don't want to leave. That's just the vibe I get. I can't explain it. Okay, Yuna. I think she's probably very typical. I don't think she's the worst person to ever hang out with. I don't think she's the best. I feel like she'd be nice to people, but also like distant at the same time. You know, like she's like nice, but she's not all the way invested in it, right? And that's just how I feel. That's just the vibe I get. Okay, Dalek, you would wish you had not gone. Not very talkative. Will probably spy on you the entire time and sell your information. It's just, yeah, I mean, that's just the vibe I get. Alec, I think you also would wish you hadn't gone. He would also spend the entire time hustling and would probably spend the day pretending that they're paying attention to whatever is going on, but in reality is tracking someone down that's near the vicinity, right? Probably not be a fun time. Bono, I think he would be pretty typical. I think he would be pretty standard. He seems pretty normal-ish. He'd probably be all right to hang out with. I don't think it would be anything special. I think it would just be very, very typical, very normal, right? I don't even think that you would make it to your car before the SWAT team and police have put you into custody if you go over to Tanya's house. I think just being in the area with her would send you to jail. That's the truth. That's just how it is. Meow, you would also go to jail. She is obsessed with torture. You will 100% go to prison if she doesn't kill you first. I think it's a little bit of a stretch here to say that she would actually go to jail. I think she would actually probably kill you first. A Mumu, I think he would just wish he hadn't gone. He also seems like he likes torture, but I think it's more of like a fascination than a compulsion, right? I think it's like people who like true crime podcasts, right? I think he's just into it. I don't think he's like into it. I feel like he might be able to chill out and just be a little unbearable, you know, because I feel like he'd still probably talk about it the whole time, but I don't think it would be like a buzzkill. I think it would just be annoying. I think Oink would also send you to prison. I think he, of the group, is the most ready to beat someone up. He also seems like the biggest asshole of the group, so that just kind of adds to the mix, right? I just don't think he would be a good person. I think that he would be an asshole. I think he would kill someone. I think he would turn their tendons into a violin, and I think you would both end up in jail. I think Oscar is typical interaction with Oscar. I think that he seems like he's kind of an asshole. He's not a total asshole though. He's just kind of skirting the edge, right? He gets bonus points for treating Philip like the coward he is. I will say, he at least knows how to tell people off that deserve it, right? Philip definitely deserves it. I don't think he would be fun to hang out with. I think he would just be there. You know, I think he would probably be like, I don't know. He would just be there. He would just kind of exist. Hamily, buzzkill. I think she would spend the whole time complaining about how she wants her old body back and how much dying sucks. I think she's probably also not fully acquainted with her body, and it would just make things difficult, like she would not be fully coordinated yet. This is just the vibe I get, right? This is just the vibe I get. I think it's probably pretty close to the truth, though. Who knows? Not me. This is all conjecture anyways. I think Pamela would probably be a typical interaction. She seems fairly normal. She doesn't seem totally weird, and she also seems to be nicer than her counterpart is. I think that is about all to be said about her. She just seems fine. I think she would just be fine. Jaihon, prison. Not only would you go to jail at the end, but it would also suck because he would complain about missing his dead son the whole time too. And the reason that you would go to jail is because he would be like, hey, let's go to a skate park or a playground, right? and then he would find a bunch of kids turn into puppets. Yeah, you would go to jail. Easy as that. You would go to prison. Elena, I think you would only be a buzzkill. Okay, I think she is a buzzkill because I think she would just be wallowing in her own pity or having been beaten in the past, right? And I think that she would maybe like want to try her hand at some murders, but probably would not follow through with any of them because of fear of failing, right? I feel like she's just kind of washed up. She's just not as lively as she used to be. Okay, Tomari buzzkill. Tomari struggles to form cohesive thoughts. Would probably go along with anything in the group. But would probably also get distracted just beating things for fun, right? I think you would probably want to avoid inviting Tomari to many social functions. Valerie, you would go to jail. Would be looking for food the whole time, and also doesn't speak the language that you speak. That would be a little bit difficult to get around. And the same goes for the rest of them. I feel like all of the sweepers would probably just end up in prison. I feel like they would not understand what was happening, and you would hang out with them, and they would go kill someone, right? And then they would just start to scrape their flesh and whatever. And then it'd be like, okay, all right, maybe it's time to leave. But at that point, the cops are already there. It's too late. Okay. Eugen, this is a hot take. I feel like she probably knows how to have a good time. I don't know how to describe this one either exactly, right? I just feel like she would be great to hang out with. I think that she would probably be tired the whole time. I think that she would relish the entertainment though, right? I think that I just feel like she would be a fun person to hang out with. I feel it in my gut, right? I feel it in my soul that she is the kind of person that you would want to hang out with. I don't think you would never want to leave. But I do think that she knows how to have a good time. I feel like she would be a fun person to spend time with. Valentine, typical interaction. I think that he has respect for people he likes, and he has a lot of empathy for people around him. He also understands the injustices of the world, right? So he's very down to earth. He seems like he's kind of nice. I feel like he would be fun to hang out with, but I don't think he would be overly fun to hang out with. I feel like he would just be very typical. Tenma, I also think would just be a typical interaction. She also, like above, has, respect for people, is very empathetic, but I think she has a little bit more of a worldly understanding since she's been on the team for longer, right? Valentine was very new, but Tenma's been on it for a while. She understands how things work, right? And I think as well as Valentine and Eugen, she would also probably just relish the distraction, right? I think the whole group would enjoy the time away from what they have to do. Oswald, yeah. Noah, buzzkill. I think this is another one of those characters that this category was made for, right? He hates everything. He acts jealous towards everybody around him. He doesn't like to do things that are fun. He doesn't really like to talk to people. He seems like kind of an asshole. Spending time would not be fun. That's just how it is. Emma, on the other hand, I think would be a typical interaction. I think he actually seems like a fine person. I feel like he would want to go out and do things, and I'll just sit around the whole time. I don't think I would rank him as high as knows how to have a good time, though. I feel like he's just very middle line, very standard, very typical, just fine. I think it would just be fine to hang out with them, but it's one of those people you wouldn't, you probably get their number at the end, but you wouldn't follow up with them, right? They're fine. Okay, Emma and Noah, I think you just wish you hadn't gone. They skirt the edge of buzzkill and normalcy a little bit. They are at least peppy. They are a lot more full of life, right? Than the parts that make them up, right? I think they probably cause problems though, right? I just don't think they would be very, very fun to hang out with. Okay, crying children, prison. Just for you though, don't hang out with children. Okay, moving on. Puppeteer, also prison. I think that you would probably be fine for a little while, right? I think everything would be okay. And then, while you stand up to get sodas, right, he would stab you in the back and turn you into a puppet and kill people with you, right? And then you would both end up in jail. And that's just, I don't know how to explain it. I just know that is what would happen. Blood Red Knight, I honestly just think is a buzzkill. Okay, much like her counterpart Elena, think she would probably just complain about how she used to be hot shit and would be a little bit scared to do anything in case she didn't do it right? I don't know. That's just how I feel. That's how I feel. I think it's true. I think this is very accurate so far. I think Esther would also be a total buzzkill. He's like a religious fanatic, but almost worse. I feel like he probably wouldn't go outside unless a prescript told him to, right? He probably wouldn't want to hang out unless a prescript told him that he had to go hang out. I think he would be too busy waiting for his next instruction and would not do anything because of it. All right, Hubert, I think he would wish he hadn't gone. He also follows the prescripts, but at least he feels bad about them afterwards, right? Like I'm pretty sure he said that he was the one that said, like, the prescripts told us to like put on spikes, but they didn't say we couldn't take them down afterwards. Something like that. I don't remember exactly, but he seems a little bit more mellow, right? I don't think he would be a total buzzkill the whole time. I think he would probably go out because a prescript didn't tell him that he couldn't go out, right? Unlike Esther, I think that he would go out and his reasoning would be like, well, a prescript didn't tell me I couldn't go out, right? That's just how I see things. Gloria, you would wish you hadn't gone. I think way too upbeat. I think it would get annoying after like 3 minutes. It's another classic case of Malkuth syndrome, right? I think that she's way too obsessed with the prescripts, even more so than both her counterparts are. It would not be a fun time. I just feel it. It would not be a good time. Okay. These guys all go in the same category. I think you just would wish you hadn't gone. It's Jin, Mai, and Wang, by the way. The reasoning behind this, I think that they would be very chill. I feel like a lot of places wouldn't let you inside though because they would smoke the whole time. And I feel like they would also be out of their minds, right? I don't know what they're smoking, right? But I know whatever it is, you probably would not, they're probably not fully there, right? I feel like they're probably high as shit, and I feel like it would just detract from the afternoon, the evening as a whole. Rose, I feel like she would also probably be a fun, I think she knows how to have a good time, right? Let's also zoom out a little bit because we're getting a little full here on the list. I feel like she knows how to have a good time. I feel like when she's off duty, she probably would be a lot of fun. I don't feel like she seems completely broken down by the world yet. I feel like she still has a little bit of her humanity inside. Sen, I think it would just be a typical interaction. He seems a little bit downbeat, right? Not as bad as some of the other people on the list. Just a little bit though. He has a tinge of it. I think he would also just be kind of excited for some time away from work, right? I think he would enjoy going out because it means he doesn't have to work. I think it would be pretty typical. I think Lesty would be a total buzzkill though. Malkuth syndrome, 100%. Very annoying, it would just become very annoying very quick. I think that they would probably be into doing a lot of things. I would not be able to stand them though. So I think they would be a buzzkill for that reason, right? You could be a buzzkill because you're too into things, 100%. And Lesty is a perfect case of this. Okay, Dennis, you probably wish you hadn't gone. I think that Dennis is too invested into the hierarchy structure. I feel like they're also very reserved and be a little bit afraid to open up and be themselves while they're out, right? I feel like they're too focused on like the appearances and whatnot. I don't think it would be a very good time. I think Boris would be a fun person to hang out with, okay? I feel like he would be a super fun person to hang out with. I feel like while he is also invested into like the hierarchy and stuff, I feel like he would also be able to like turn it off and go do things. I feel like he is just a very very fun person. I feel like it would be a pretty all right time. Lowell, I think it's just typical. I think Lowell is probably all right to spend time with, but would probably insist that Zhao came along. I think he seems laid back. Would probably be down to do a lot of things, right? Like probably anything you suggested he would be interested in. But I don't think he would be super fun to hang out with. He seems a little too mellow. Seems a little too mellow. Not like he would have enough fun, right? I think Cecil would also be a typical interaction. Cecil seems smart and observant and relatively nice. She seems pretty empathetic too. I think that she would probably have fun going out and would probably make sure everyone else was having fun too. I think she would just be pretty typical. I don't think she knows how to have a good time, right? She wouldn't be leading the good times. I think it would just be pretty standard. I think that May, on the other hand, probably would be a good time, right? She seems very nice and very outgoing. And also is shown to enjoy spending time with Zhao, like gossiping and stuff. It would probably be fun to hang out with in person. I feel like May would probably be a fun person to hang out with and would probably make the time better, right? They would not only be fun to hang out with, they would also actively make the time a better time, right? Zhao, buzzkill. She would 100% be depressed about losing Lowell the entire time. She's also just kind of a total bitch and very cold unless she likes you, which, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to say every person we're hanging out with is like loves us or anything, so I'm not going to assume that she does like us. She's just kind of a very cold person. I think that she would be a total buzzkill the whole time. And there's not much more to be said about that. Nemo, you would wish you hadn't gone. You would 100% sell your soul the moment your back was turned. He seems very nice, but it's like a very fake nice, right? He seems very fake. I just don't think it would be very fun to hang out with him. I think Bada is a buzzkill, though. I think he seems like a total downer. I feel like he doesn't have a filter. He kind of just says whatever he feels and whatever comes to his mind, right? He doesn't have there's no separation. It just comes out. I just think he would not be a fun person to hang out with. It would probably, your time would be detracted from because he was there. Trying to line my thing back up. There we go. Martina, buzzkill. Here's my reasoning for this. One sentence. She looks, sounds, and acts like the girl from The Ring. That's all I need to say. Greta, prison. Self-explanatory. Bremen, prison, self-explanatory. I don't need to go into it with them. You would end up in jail either way. Okay, Callie, I think unlike Kabira, I feel like Callie is one of those people that you would hang out with all day. Again, here's my reasoning why, right? I feel like she seems like a more fun version of her current self, right? She's not got all the trauma yet. I feel like she's still very lively. She's like the better half of Kabira, right? I feel like she also cares deeply about her friends and would probably do things because her friends want to and would also end up enjoying them, right? I feel it. This is all, I feel it in my gut, in my soul. I feel like this is all probably very accurate to how it would really go. Miras, you would wish you hadn't gone. He seems like a complete asshole. And that's about it. He just doesn't seem like a fun person to hang out with. Chun, you also would probably wish you hadn't gone. Seems like a slightly better version of Miras, but kind of not really. Seems a little bit more empathetic and a little less blunt than Miras is, but I still feel like it wouldn't be fun to hang out with either of them. I think they would both probably enact the same effect, right? Okay, Nikolai, buzzkill. Was probably a lot of fun before the years hardened her like they have. She probably wouldn't want to go out anyways, right? I feel like if she did, she would probably not want to and would not be interested in anything that was going on. Probably just complain about the whole time. Definitely would not be fun to hang out with. Maxim? I feel like Maxim knows how to have a good time, though. I feel like he seems like he could be fun to do things with, and he feels like he still has some of his humanity left, right? Some of his humanity and soul are still inside of him. I just feel like he would be fun to hang out with. I feel like he would be a good time. He would go, and he would be there, and I'm telling you, I just feel like it would be a good time. He would just bring something to it. I don't know what, but he would bring something to it that would make it a good time, right? Rudolph, buzzkill. He's very stuck up. He's kind of an asshole, kind of pretentious. I just don't think it would be fun to hang out with him. I feel like you would be better off just not going, not doing it. That's about that. Mayo, I think Mayo is one of those people that you would probably not want to leave with, right? Okay, here's my reasoning. She seems like she would be a lot of fun to spend time with. And I feel like as long as whatever you're doing is competitive, she'd be super into it too, right? Now, she is a little hot-headed. She is a little crazy too. Maybe just a little bit. I truly think, though, that she would be a very fun person to hang out with. I feel like she's one of those people that you hang out with and you don't want to stop. I just feel it. I think that this is the perfect rung for her. Okay, Mirai Buzzkill. She's a total weirdo. She lives in the sewer like a crazy person. And I also think she just is a crazy person. She's just weird. I mean, I don't think hanging out with her would be fun. You would go to prison if you hung out with Distorted Yan. I mean, come on. Purple Tear. I feel like good time. I was contemplating deeply whether or not she deserved to be in the never want to leave tier, or if she just deserves to be in the has a good time tier, right? Okay, here's my reasoning. I feel like she seems like she would be a fun person to spend time with, right? She seems very nice. She's very caring and empathetic. She just seems like a very genuine person too, right? I feel like she would probably be able to like get anything that you wanted, right? And would probably be able to just do anything that you wanted. I just don't know if I could say that you would never want to leave. I feel like there's just something about her that would probably make you want some time away after a little while, right? I feel like deep down it's probably because she's kind of just got this aura to her that's like a negativity aura, even though she's really nice. It's just kind of there, right? Okay, Angelica. I feel like you would never want to leave. This is a hard one, right? Because we don't actually interact with her at all. Everything that we hear is like kind of secondhand from Roland. She sounds super nice though. She seems like she would probably be the one in charge of everything. She'd probably be the one deciding what everyone does, and I feel like nobody would have a bad time at the end of the day. She also seems super nice and like caring. I just feel like she would be a totally chill person to hang out with. I feel like you would spend the day and then never want to stop. Okay, Mirene, I think it's just typical. She seems respectful. She seems very genuine. She'd probably be too swamped with work to want to go out. But I think once she did, I think it would just be very, very normal, very typical interaction. Harold Buzzkill. He seems like super pessimistic. He seems not fun at all. He seems like he's the kind of person that would just point out all the bad things that are happening or could happen while you're out, and it would just ruin the time, and he would be a total buzzkill for everyone involved. Olivier, you would wish he hadn't gone. I think he used to be cool. I think time has taken its toll, though. I feel like he also would probably not be too interested in going out in the first place, right? He seems a little too serious now. I just don't think it would be a fun time. Okay, Carmen, I feel like you would never want to leave, right? Okay, here's my reasoning. She's very optimistic. She would want to do whatever made everyone the happiest. She would probably talk about how much better the world is going to be soon because of how much work she's putting into it. I feel like she just radiates this great aura, right? She's just got this great personality that you would just want to be around 24/7. That's my reasoning. Okay, Xena, I think this is just typical interaction. She seems like the same kind of hardened person that Bina is, except she still has some of her soul left inside, right? She's not completely like killed, right? She's still all right. I think it would just be very typical. I think you'd go out and might have to worry about her killing somebody, maybe. I'm not sure. I think it'd probably be okay though. Okay, Baral Risen. 100% he would teleport away mid sentence to go kill somebody, and ultimately you would be incriminated in the process because you spent time with them, right? I just that's how I see this happening. Okay, the head. Yeah, you'd probably wish you hadn't gone. Nothing good can come from spending time with it. And also, if it's around you, it's almost certainly because you're about to get killed by one of his operatives, right? It would just not be a good time. You would wish you hadn't gone, right? And that's it. That's the tier list. Let's there we go. So, here it is. We have all of our tiers fully ranked, all of our characters fully ranked. I think it's pretty accurate. Again, if you disagree with anything, if you feel like I made a complete mistake, please let me know in the comments. I will respond to as many as I can. And I feel like this is pretty accurate though. I feel like all of the tiers, all of the rankings that I've given these people, probably pretty true to life. But that is going to do it for this episode, this tier list ranking here. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a thumbs down. If you'd like to see more, consider subscribing. I upload daily at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. As always, hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next episode. So long, everybody.